Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news of a worrying recent fall in Airfreight shipments, especially out of China. But first, the Fed's latest beige book survey portrays the American economy overall as continuing to expand at a moderate to modest pace in July through mid-August. It says some of the areas of the economy are relatively strong, including the jobs market, the housing market, and construction. But it also pointed to growing obstacles such as the strong US dollar and slowing growth in China. Data for US factory orders for July came in slightly weaker than expected, however, although the beige book survey covers the period after that. Sort of supporting the Fed survey, private sector payrolls in August expanded at a more modest than expected pace, adding 190,000 jobs according to the ADP survey, one that foreshadows the upcoming non-farm payrolls report due out on Saturday. It is worth noting that official stats have initially underestimated job growth for almost every August over the past decade, a trend the Fed will have to reconcile when it works out whether America is ready for a rate hike. It makes that decision the week after next. One important component will be worker productivity, which in data out overnight showed it grew more than initially thought in the second quarter at 3.3%. That reflecting a bounce back in economic activity following a slow start to 2015. That has kept a lid on both wage and hiring levels. In Australia, they've just reported weak growth in the June quarter. Their economy narrowly missed shrinking for the first time in more than 4 years last quarter after a spike in government spending, including on defence, that helped cushion the most sustained slump in national income since the early 1990s. New Zealand reports its second quarter growth numbers on September the 17th. Overnight, the IMF said we shouldn't stress too much about China, but it also warned of growing risks there. Backing that up is early data on air freight shipments from China. Air cargo is widely tracked as a leading indicator for trade because shippers decide whether to send items by plane that are often last-minute decisions. The recent drop in volumes has analysts concerned, even as maritime shipping out of Asia has remained healthy. In New York, US Treasury 10-year yield benchmark is unchanged today at 2.17%. Our swap rates rose a couple of basis points yesterday and will get no signals from Wall Street today. The US benchmark oil price is marginally higher, now at $46 a barrel, and the Brent benchmark is back to $50 a barrel. The gold price is lower, however, at $1,133 an ounce. New Zealand dollar starts today unchanged at 63.6 US cents, 90.3 Aussie cents, and 56.6 Euro cents. The TWI is still at 68.2. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.